Okay, so we have the beer board. In prior years, you would have been given a different question, but considering the budgetary constraints and understanding of the status quo recommended budget, if you can provide what that entails for the operations of your department, and just for the viewing audience, if you can provide a brief synopsis of the services that you provide, and the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. I can assure you that the beer board can operate within the confines of the budget that was provided by the mayor this year.
Thank you so much.
Madam Chair, my name is Benton McDonough, and I'm the Executive Director of the Metropolitan Beer Permit Board. I would like to begin by thanking members of the council for inviting me here today to discuss our upcoming budget. I would also like to thank the chair personally for attending our budget discussions with the mayor and his panel back in March, as well as taking an interest in our work within your council district. At this time, I would like to also recognize Terry Clements, who's a member of our board who attended here with me tonight as well. I would like to start by providing a brief overview of our department and then highlight a few of the improvements that we've seen over my last 11 months. The Beer Permit Board provides licensing control and regulatory products to applicants and permit holders so they can operate within full compliance regarding transportation, storage, sale, possession, and manufacture of beer with not more than 8% alcoholic content by weight. My goal in this first year has been to focus on protecting the general public, improving customer service, and strengthening partnerships with other Metro departments, state agencies, and community organizations. You also find that we have done this successfully by getting maximum impact out of minimal tweaks. One of those tweaks would be a change to Rule 1 when I first took over as Executive Director last June. Existing businesses going through a change of ownership were allowed to obtain temporary permits to continue operation. However, new businesses were not afforded the same opportunity. New businesses often completed the required paperwork and then waited several weeks until the next meeting to obtain necessary board approval. These entities lost out on valuable time for revenue, as did the taxpayers of Nashville. We changed this rule to allow board staff to approve temporary permits for both new and existing businesses, which is valid for up to 30 days. And now businesses can begin operating and generating income and revenue for the businesses and also the taxpayers of the city. We also made a change to the privilege tax fees. Previously, the privilege tax changed on a daily basis, and now we change it on a month-to-month basis. So before I came on, it changed daily, and so an individual would go to their bank and obtain a cashier's check for the exact amount, only to bring it in the next day, and we could not accept it because it was not the exact change. So now we make it easier and we change it on a monthly basis rather than day to day. Along those same lines, we now accept business and personal checks as well. We recently implemented the new policy that allowed us to accept those forms of checks. Permit holders and applicants have been very pleased with this change, and it allows for more flexibility in acceptable forms of payment. And this is also the predominant choice of payment now by permit holders and applicants. We're also looking to move towards electronic applications. Several months ago, we worked with our legal counsel as well as the Metro Council to change our application requirements process. Previously, the law required a person to file in person, but that requirement was removed, and the law now allows the board to set the requirement for the required format as well as the delivery. We had to take this step in order to allow for the applications to be filed electronically. This saves an applicant the time of having to come to the office and submit an application in person. It also addresses the issue we see now where many investors or applicants live outside of the state of Tennessee and outside of Metro Nashville. In order to do this, we had to work closely with the Metro Police Department and the TBI to make sure that proper safeguards were in place for the public so that we could obtain broader background checks on the applicants. And we could also safeguard their personal identifying information for anyone that had nefarious intent. Further, it gives the board the flexibility to adopt new formats as technology changes without having to come before the council every single time. Technology upgrades, our inspectors each carry tablets now, and we actually transferred from using flip phones to now we use iPhones now in the field. So That allows us to access city works out in the field, and it cuts down on the relying upon paper, and it also allows us to take better photographs when we're out in the field as well. We instituted inspectors' office hours. We determined that the common reason for violations related to a person's misunderstanding of the beer laws, and we now have time available from 7:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Mondays for permit holders, applicants, as well as members of the general public to come in and ask questions regarding the beer laws. We also have a inspector who is fluent in Spanish, and this allows us for better communication with the Hispanic community. We also started using FAQs. We listened to our customers and found that FAQs help significantly. Several of our FAQs were actually recommendations from people within the industry. After a recent meeting that I had with the NVCB, a question came up regarding acceptable forms of ID during the CMA Fest, and so we have since included that on our FAQ list. Let me see. We've tried to improve relationships with other community groups and government entities. We're performing more outreach with other community and government entities, as I mentioned with the NVCB. Now we're also working closely with the Nashville Prevention Partnership and the Metro Police Department Youth Services, as well as the Tennessee Alcoholic Beverage Commission. These entities help us as we carry out more underage compliance beer checks to protect the general public. We've also been in close communication with the Mayor's Office for New Americans in an attempt to assess the most common groups and language assistance needed to assist permit holders. Finally, I'd like to mention that we always look for new streams of revenue. Similar to the school that Codes has currently put in place for violators, we are looking at possibly creating a new alcohol training program for new applicants and beer violators. And the money generated through this program could either go to the general fund or to help fund the work that we do with the Nashville Prevention Partnership and the Metro PD in carrying out compliance checks for the protection of the general public. And in closing, I would just like to really thank the members of my staff, Terrence Darby, Jesus Carreno, Doug James, Amanda Webb, as well as our board members, Brian Taylor, Talisha Cobb, Terry Clements, Jessica Van Dyke, Jack Davis, Kia Jarman, John Spraggins, and also the assistance of Alicia Viravuth in preparing for the various hearings. So without any of their assistance, none of this would have been possible. So thank you very much, and I'll answer any questions you may have.
Thank you so much. Councilman Davis, Anthony Davis.
Thank you, Chair. Just having to work with you guys so intimately, I just wanted to at least throw out a compliment and just say thank you for everything you've done, Benton, staff, and the commission as well, or the board. It just, everything you kind of went through with all the modernization has just been really helpful to those of us in the industry. I can't wait for the online thing. Obviously, the tablets sounded cool. Terrence still you still need the measuring wheel for the 100-foot thing. You got to go a little old school sometimes, which is cool. I mean, that's what you should have. But no, you guys have been just awesome to work with, and no real questions. I think just keep doing what you're doing. If we can partner in any way, obviously we, have done legislation that helps continue to foster good working relationships and helping the craft beer and distilling industry kind of continue to move forward. Obviously, I'm a part of that. Can't do as much as I once could, but happy to be a part of it and happy to help with any partnership we can have and continue to move those industries forward. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Cooper.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Just want to second everything that Councilman Davis said, but add a amateur's question. Should we be increasing any of our taxes, license, permit fees? I know there's a delicate balance of how much you can do that, but is that something the city should be considering?
We would always welcome additional funds. I can tell you the $250 for the application fee and the $100, that's all set by state law.
Okay.
And so we have little to no impact on that. But I will tell you that anyone that comes in from outside of Tennessee has typically been astounded by the fact that we still charge $250. But I have to explain to them that there's very little we can do about that.
Because $250 is so...
Very low.
low.
Yes.
Okay, but we would need the help from the state to do that.
Yes.
So your revenue growth is entirely by more locations. Your non-program revenue growth is, I'm sorry, the actuals and the budget are just about the same. Okay, so we're handicapped, we're trapped by the state and what we can charge.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Cooper. Councilman Withers.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate the work of the Beer Board in the East Nashville area. We have quite a few establishments that serve alcohol of all kinds. And so we have a lot of permits that come through, and I appreciate the work of the staff. One thing, and I don't mean this as a criticism, but really as a little bit of a plea for help. We do have areas, and in particular, I'm thinking of areas such as around 5th and Main, where we do have businesses that have commercial zoning. They're properly legal and permitted to sell alcohol, but the sales of alcohol create problems in our community. From folks who are using or abusing alcohol. And I know actually for some of those businesses, they themselves work very, very hard to try to keep folks out of their premises who are known to cause problems, but yet it's just a challenging area with some of the population that is around there. Do you see any further opportunities to maybe have the surveillance activities of the inspectors and the police department work together better to help alleviate some of those problems for our community and frankly for those business owners?
Well, I appreciate the question, and I can assure you that with this budget, I know that the mayor included the $5,800 that we had requested, and that actually goes to the beer buys. That's what we call them, where the police and our inspectors, as well as the NPP, the Nashville Prevention Partnership, work together to go out and try and they use decoys to make underage buys. And so from that standpoint, the NPP has actually had to reallocate a lot of their money because they actually provided the Narcan to the fire department this year, and so they had to reallocate a lot of the money they were using for the beer buys to go towards that. And so the $5,800 will go a long way towards helping with that. But something that I do want to do over the next year is really to take a hard look at a lot of the problem areas. And if there's a specific one you have in mind, we can certainly keep an eye on things. And I'm happy to say that when I went back and looked at our numbers, our inspectors, there's 3 of them. 2 of them mainly do the inspections, and then there's a senior one. And the 2 that go out in the field actually do about 12 a day, which comes out to 12 each a day, which comes out to annually about 6,000 altogether that they do. And so we're able to go to each of our permit holders about 3 times a year, which is what was our plan for this year. So we're always looking at new opportunities to try and assist the general public. So any ideas you have, I'm happy to listen.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Withers. Seeing no other council members seeking recognition, thank you so much for the service that you provide for the city. If we can have the Human Relations Commission, you can go ahead and begin to make your way down, and thank you so much.